Hi, I'm Debbie Ridpathoe, children's book author and illustrator. I was just in my garden this morning and I thought I'd create some art. And while I was doing it, I thought, why not live stream? And feel free to ask me anything you want. Um, I'm trying to do a live stream every day, not scheduled, I'm sorry. I'm trying to work around my own work schedule, mainly to get used to live streaming, stepping out of my comfort zone, but also feel free to ask me anything you want about anything. I may not answer all your questions, but feel free. Plus, I'm also hoping to inspire more artists, especially young artists, to have fun with their art. Okay, let's see. This works. All right, so this is one of the things that I found. My husband had just been tree trimming, and there were a pile of these on the sidewalk. I mean, on the ground beside the green bin. So I thought I'd turn this into something. And you know what this reminds me of? Let's see. I'm going to use crayons for this because I love drawing with crayons. And if anyone's wondering, I sharpen my crayons with Sargent Art sharpener. People always ask me. And I am going to draw one of these squirrels from, whoops, boy, I really pressed hard then. Draw one of the squirrels from Where Are My Books. So if you want to draw a squirrel with me, because that kind of looks like a squirrel tail, don't you think? If you want to draw with me, it's very easy to draw one of these squirrels. Here, let's do. And you can vary the shape. You don't have to draw a squirrel the same way I do. You know, he's going to be a little bit crabby because he's saying, "What are you drawing me for?" And, you know, I pressed too hard and I broke my crayon. So let's sharpen. It's easier to draw with. I'm doing. He's heading somewhere. Whenever I'm drawing characters, I like to make them. And he stole one of my books, just like the squirrels in Where Are My Books. He stole one of my books, and that's why I can't find this book. So he's hoping, you know what? I always like adding an emotion to the creatures I put into my found objects because then it makes me ask questions. So I always tell young readers, so if you add an emotion to one of your characters, and even as an adult, if you put characters in your portfolio, I usually try not to have them always cheerful and happy and perky because I've seen a lot of portfolios. It's great to have happiness in the world. But if you are putting together a children's book portfolio, you kind of want to show people you could show a wide range of emotions. So I usually put more than one character in the picture and have the characters interact. But feel free to ask me any questions. Let's see. One of the things I like about working with found objects like flowers and trees and food and things like that. You can't really keep this. So all you can do is take a picture of it. And because you can't really keep something like this, then you don't feel as much I don't feel as much pressure to have to be perfect. For example, you know what? I'm going to make instead of I'm going to make a polka dotted squirrel because kind of looks like his mouth, doesn't it? Because I just feel like making very strange squirrel. And so now I'm thinking, why is this squirrel and he has a matching heart here. So why is this squirrel looking so crabby? You know what? Let's have some ground here. Continue the story here. And I have something else I picked from my garden. And what can I turn this into? Or you know what? I can't remember what plant this is. But if you are a young artist out there, before you pick anything, always make sure you ask. Ooh, look, little ears, or could be a mustache. Should I make a mustache or ears? You know, I'm going to turn to ears because has potential. And I am going to draw with, let's see what kind of green this is. This is kind of blue green. This is pine green. I'll turn this into a character. Another thing I like about found object art like this is that it does not last a long time, so you have to work pretty quickly, which means you can't take time with little details that you get obsessed with because you're making so many mistakes. Not that I've ever gone through that myself. And so it forces me to have fun with it. So let's see, you know what? I'm going to make this, I'm not even sure what kind of creature I'm going to turn this into. A lot of times I like doing stream of consciousness creatures and drawings, so I just start drawing. I still no idea, except this creature is kind of like, hey, how's it going? You know, and so obviously there's something going on here because the squirrel is kind of crabby, but this little guy, whatever he is, he or she, and let's make it she, he or she is all cheerful and a little bit clueless, or maybe she actually knows why. I have no idea. No idea what this is, but I like long wavy tails because you can turn them into things. And feel free to ask me questions. It doesn't have to be a question about my art or my books. It could be anything. Of course, I reserve the right not to answer all the questions, but I'm happy to try answering anything. You know, I'm going to add a little bit of, that's sort of quizzical looking, right? Whoops. I'm going to put her hands on her sides, and let's color her green. I like drawing with crayons because, as I said before, I find drawing with crayons very relaxing. You know, she's looking kind of like a lizard or a dragon, sort of. You know, maybe I'm going to add a little bit of color, extra color. Sometimes I like trying to mix colors and see what happens. Okay, now, you know what? I'm going to give this little creature some wings. Let's try, what color is this? You know, I'm going to, instead of adding pink wings, I'm just going to add some pink here. And then, you know what, little tiny wings here. And you might be wondering at this point, how can those little wings help get her into the sky? And you would be right for asking that. And that could be part of whatever story this is. All right, and then we have this. And this, what's the name of that flower? I can't remember. But can this fit here? Yeah, you know what? Let's fit this creature here too. And this creature could be, I'm going to use a pencil for this. I need a little bit finer line. You know what? I'm going to add little eyes here. You can still see, right? So maybe these guys are having an argument, and this little guy here, or little creature here, is saying, wait, don't fight, you guys. You don't have to fight. We can all be friends. And so she, you know, she is going to be sweating because she's saying, don't fight, please. Let's just be friends and play. Because sometimes, don't you get tired of people fighting all the time? And so the squirrel, you know, I'm going to add a little bit of And then something could happen. So if anyone has an idea, if there are any young readers out there who have ideas about what this story is about, or who want to name, or not so young readers, what any of these can be named, feel free to volunteer. So a lot of times I will recycle these or just throw them out, or if I'm working with food, I'll eat them. Oh, Janet, yay, someone commented. I always like, thank you so much. I think you're right. This is part of a snowball flower. And because I have is that a snowball flower? You know what, let's get rid of this. crumble, 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 crumble. Put that in organics or recycling, whatever. And let's work with this. I think you're right. Snowball flower. I think there's also some other name for it, right? Hydrangea. Oh, hydrangea. Is that the same thing as a snowball flower? Because it looks like a snow. Is there such a thing as snowball flower? Maybe there's. So here, you know what? I'm going to turn this into. And a lot of times, if I'm working with a white flower, hey, try to find. I try to find another color to go underneath it. And this is a used file folder. Because I make a lot of art, let's use a Sharpie. Because I use a lot of art, I make a lot of art that I throw. I try not to use expensive art materials because then let's see, what should I do? I'm going to add 2 eyes here. I find if you add eyes to anything, it makes it into what kind of creature that is. Maybe it's too big. I'm going to rip it up a bit. There. Or, hey, oh, wait. This could be, so let's turn this into something. Maybe, look at this, turn it into another kind of creature. I have no idea what this is, but it was in my garden. And sometimes I just randomly add a question mark because then I think, like, what's going on? What is he looking at? And maybe he's holding a book, of course, because, and maybe he's just walking along and he found this book lying. What book is it? He loves the book, so he doesn't really want to find the owner, but he thinks it doesn't really belong to me, so maybe and you know what this is on my mind? I was playing Animal Crossing yesterday, and I bought some turnips. Anyone who plays Animal Crossing will understand the whole, and has been playing it for a bit, and has reached the turnip phase, will understand my obsession with turnips. But a lot of times you'll come across lost items, and I actually found a lost book, and I haven't been able to find the Animal Crossing resident to whom it belongs. Okay. Oh, thank you, Pat. That is so nice. Don't throw it away. I would frame it and hang in my granddaughter's room. Yes, but you see, this is what part of the reason I love found object art. I can't really keep this. Yes, I could maybe press that. Let's try squishing it. Poor thing. And drying it. But then I need to find room in my office, and my office is real. I'm going to it's really too messy. There's no room. I used to try to keep all of these things, but I just can't. There's no room. And then if I know I'm going to keep it, then I try to be too precious with the art. But I encourage you, this is entirely possible, with your grandchild, if she's old enough, you could press this. You could press a flower, and then I would press a whole bunch of leaves and plants, and then next time they come over or you go see them, oh yeah, social distancing. Well, you could do it virtually, encourage them to turn this into a kid's activity. Actually, I have, but I should do more of this. You can press the flowers or plants and things like that, and then you could keep them. You could tape it or glue it onto a piece of paper and then turn it into something. But for these, I just throw this out into organics. Or if I actually have, here's what I collected all my plants in, a little bowl of water so they last a bit longer. And I can turn this into something. But it's almost the end of my time. I'm trying to do some live streaming each day to get used to it, and also in case anyone has any questions. So I'm going to turn this into one more thing because this is so pretty, and I can't really keep this because it's not going to last that long. That's another thing. In about an hour, this is going to be all wilted. So, but look how nice it is. Okay, let's see what happens if I squish it. And I already tried playing with. I'll do it on here. Wait, look. Blue paper. So it'll show. So I am going to work with a pencil. And this is my Um, yes, take a pic of it and frame the picture. It's true. I could take a picture, but if you saw my office, there is no room anywhere and plus you need to print it out. Yes, you could do all, I encourage all of you to print out your found object art and put it on, but my office is really, really packed. Okay, so my last picture that I'm going to draw, feel free to ask me any questions, is going to be, okay, I'm going to focus. Usually when I draw a character, in my mind there's always some kind of story, even though it's not formalized, or a mood. I usually aim for a mood, and so or a mood that I want. And so her mood is peace and serenity, because there's a lot of craziness going on in the world. I try to avoid looking at social media until after I've had a chance to, and she's going to have, just because I like drawing curly hair, a wild top knot of curly hair. Can you see that? Oh, it's a little bit, I'm going to move this. I'm going to move my light so it's not so shiny. Oh, it is so shiny. Wait, can I move this? Oh, and I'm going to adjust the brightness. I'm trying it there. That helps a little bit, right? Oh, it's not working. There, that's a bit better. And I'm out of focus. I'm trying to bring there. Okay. Oh, it looks like I'm in the flowers, which is really nice. All right, so I can't remember what I was talking about. And of course, she's going to be reading a book because that's what most of my characters do. So her anatomy looks a bit wrong. But that's the joy of this. I'm not going to keep it. Okay, you guys are all looking at it, but I'm not going to keep it. So she's going to look a bit sad, wistful. Maybe the book is reminding her of something that makes her a little bit nostalgic. I want her to be what should she be holding? Does anyone have any ideas? She should be holding something. And I kind of don't want her to be in a typical ballerina pose because I always draw that. So I'm going to have her be in a very strange, a little bit unusual pose just because I feel like it. And you know what? She's going to be wearing not like construction boots, but a little bit hardier boots. Kind of boots that she's ready to take action anytime. Oh, it's a little bit. And I just got this Manfrotto. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to fiddle this that much more because I have to do the light. This is all good practice for me, so I appreciate your patience. And this is obviously going to gleam too much. There. That's better. That's better. And, she's going to be leaping. And I didn't want to put her in the normal, the typical shoes that ballerinas wear because I just want to change. So she's sort of leaping and okay. So this is a partially failed experiment, but that's okay because that's why I find liberating drawing live and sometimes just not knowing what's going to come out of my pencil. Um, in fact, I don't even need this. I could just have her go like this. Actually, you know what? One thing I should have done is first do the sketch. But then that kind of defeats the purpose. Look at that. That's better. And let's see. I'm going to zoom in on her face. Will that autofocus or not? No. I'll have to fiddle with that. Oh, there. Okay. Thank you so much for being so patient with all these drawing experiments because when I do formal presentations, which I occasionally do, I will be much more prepared. I have found that the only way I can get practice with these live streaming experience and user trying to figure out what the user goes through is to actually live stream. And sometimes it works, sometimes not. And so obviously in this session, I am finding a lot of things that are not working. But you guys are very patient. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, thank you. Ballerina. Yes, you must try this with hydrangea. Oh, I love teaching kids news so much. You should definitely check out Teaching Kids News. Could you please post the URL to your website because it is a very valuable, sometimes entertaining, very informative resource that I highly recommend for anyone with young people in their lives. You could actually still do that too. Thank you, Pat. Pat says it still looks great to me. You feel her mood, and I'm going to add just a little bit hint of a smile because maybe there's something in there that she really enjoys, and she's going to be holding. I want to make her holding something. What should I make her hold? This is going to be the last thing I'm going to draw in this session. I am the first person who posts something I'm going to use. Well, I'm probably going to use that. What should she be holding? Does anyone have any ideas? Whatever it is going to be suspended from a string. A small snippet of a flower could be the top of her hair. Okay, that's great. And thank you so much for Teaching Kid News. Check out Teaching Kid News website. It's an excellent website. Oh yes, small piece of flower should be on top of her hair, but she's also going to be suspending a little bit of flowers and a bookmark flower. Okay, a bookmark that she's going to be using as a flower. There's flowers everywhere. Okay, thank you so much for coming to my live stream. I'm going to do this almost every day, but usually working around my own work schedule. I hope you all have a great Monday, all have a great week, and thanks for visiting. Bye-bye.